6 years, 313 consecutive commentaries. We wanted to share why we've decided to take on such a crazy endeavor. So I was reminded that this is the 6th anniversary of the commentary this week. Admittedly, a couple years have slipped by during the dog days of summer. Wanted to share some important whys behind why we've taken on this task. 313 consecutive weeks. No missed Fridays of getting these things out there. For some of you who may not know, we've got so many new clients. Like, where did this all begin? So it was August of 2015. You probably don't remember now, which again is in and of itself a lesson around how quickly we forget corrections, even though they're so painful in the moment. But due to some concerns mainly out of China's growth and what that might do to the global economy, the market was in the midst of a 10% slide that hadn't happened in quite some time. At that point, we thought, we should really speak into this, get out a quick update. So we did. Interestingly enough, when we wrote that first commentary, which I have here, few charts and graphs that you've probably even seen subsequently updated. What happened? Yeah, the market pulled back to about 1860, 1867 at a low point, and plenty of people, I'm sure, got spooked out. And here we sit today, almost 250% higher on the market. Again, there's always concerns. There's always going to be challenges. Some of them are geopolitical. Some of them are about the global economy. Some of them are just about what's going on in our own lives. And so we thought this could be an opportunity to tackle this. I had plenty of people tell me not to do it, most notably my buddy Jake. Said, this is crazy every week. What are we going to talk about? I'm not often at a loss for words, but when I have been, my teammates, most notably Jake, Dave, Ben, have stepped up with some great content, relieved me of some weeks, and together as a team, we've been able to, again, deliver on this commitment for 313 consecutive weeks. What are these 5 big whys behind why we do these commentaries? Well, number one, and genuinely most importantly, we wanted to honor the opportunity to work with so many of you with effort, with accountability, and with consistency. Have plenty of people with respect to the latter two who have said, yeah, I enjoy the commentaries, and there's some that I'm more interested in than others, but ultimately what matters to me is that consistency. When I see that email hit every Friday, I know you've been standing guard over my portfolio and my family's plan. And again, if that, whatever it is that works for you, we just wanted to send that weekly reminder to you to let you know that we are thinking about you, that we are working so hard for you. We've been honored to have a lot of the work picked up. The Journal of Business has used a number of our commentaries within their magazine, and that's always greatly appreciated. We hear with some frequency from people out there that, even if they're not a client, they're a regular reader, and that's great too. Second, discipline and weekly focus. These commentaries are admittedly not just for you, they're also for me. I found that it was a great way to hold myself accountable, to be engaged all the time, every week, every day, not only in terms of being a perpetual student and learner within this industry, which again, I think is too often lost within our industry, that can get focused on production and goals or time off or any of those things that unfortunately our industry can be known for. Also forces me to avoid emotional reactions. We talk with you, our clients, all the time about, man, we need to have a process. We need to have a way to crystallize those thoughts and goals that are in your head and bring them into a tangible way that takes dialogue, that takes refinement. The same goes for us. And so I wanted to build a process for myself that would hold myself and the team accountable to doing the same things that we're trying to encourage you to do, and really put out, again, great thought. When you're putting out thoughts to thousands of people who look at this on a weekly basis, we want to make sure that we really mean what we're saying, even if in hindsight you might want to take back or two. Number 3, build community. Community has been a huge part about 10 Capital. Again, we wanted to not just talk about it, but do things that would help bring it together. And so when we reached out initially around these commentaries, about the halfway point, right before we started doing these videos, what are you interested in learning about? And it was so encouraging, not only to myself, but when I shared with the team, and we got those surveys back to here, we're not just interested in markets or just planning or insurance. We want to know about you. What's going on at 10 Capital? What's going on with the people within it? What's going on within the industry? So many people said, we're not just invested in your portfolios, we're invested invested in you. And that meant, again, so much to myself and to the team. You've been here to celebrate milestones with us of assets under management, new teams. The baby video that we put out a few years ago as so many of us around here started to grow our families. And you've been here even to mourn with us as you were last year with Rach and I when we put out that video that was special to us around the loss of Ellie. It all, again, comes back to serving, growing this community that means so much, I know, not just to us, but to so many of you as well. Why number 4 is walk the talk. So again, so many advisors like to complain about, and I'm not just talking about 10 Capital, but my time of being at industry conferences around, investors, clients are being too short-sighted. Why can't they see the big picture? And CNBC is so stupid, and the things they like to talk about. Great, what are you doing about it? And that was really a challenge I put to myself, which is, if I want to have better information out there, if I want my clients to better understand how we think and the correct way to position oneself to long-term financial success, then do something about it. And so this was at least one thing that we wanted to manifest into reality, to do just that, to speak our truth, right and wrong as it can be, out into the world, and to share that with you on a regular basis. The 5th and final reason is we want to both educate and empathize. So part of that on the education side, certainly around markets, around planning, around demystifying cliches as we did last week around diversification. What does it really mean? How do you do it effectively? What are the hard truths and data behind why that's such a key part of having a portfolio? There's all of those aspects. It's also about empathizing. That can be, as I alluded to in the community, sharing our successes and our failures, and hopefully you understand our journey as well. It's also about empathizing during really tough markets. Certainly some highlights over this time frame, or lowlights, were the 2016 Brexit crisis. And I can remember getting up at 4 to begin what was a tome around Brexit, to be able to share that Friday that had global markets rocked and so many of you rocked. 2018 and the Christmas crash, and literally right before Christmas putting out the video that said, hang tight. I think this is just about to break, and of course bottomed on Christmas Eve and then has led into some great market sense. Or the COVID crash, and what a strange time that was. But again, hey, look, this is how some of those things have looked in the past, and this is where we're headed. And again, hopefully so many of you did as we did, which is use it as an opportunity as opposed to an exit. At the end of the day, again, to bring all this together, we just want to earn our place as your trusted partner through hard work, consistency, to be there for you with whatever is coming next. Here we are 6 years later. A lot of what was going on then, geopolitical concerns, global economic growth concerns, are happening once again. Whatever's gonna come, we know we can get through it together. And that's what these weekly messages are about, is to let you know we're here for you all the time. With that, thank you so much, and look forward to another 6 years.